Hey everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I'm Peter, that is Connor, and we are going to talk about Doctor Who Season 11, Episode 10. It's called The Battle of Ranskoor av Kolos. So full spoilers for the episode as always, and if I mispronounced it, it's made up words anyway, it's fine. Completely made up.
So are all words.
True, but these are more made up and they're new. Words become real words over time. That's
Still words.
experience and usage. Those are what make words
Sure.
real words. So yeah, season finale, and this one tied back into the first episode, as well as a little bit of the second episode.
Yeah.
If anything, it felt more like the second episode. It just happened to have the villain from the first episode, but that was kind of the setup for it. Surprisingly, no time traveling dude from Rosa. I really thought we'd see him again this year.
Yeah, me too. And I thought we were going to see, the Trump villain from, the Spiders.
Next season.
Yeah, I didn't necessarily mean in this episode. I'm just surprised he didn't show up in the season.
Yeah, we could see the time traveling dude again. I mean, these could all be seeds for later.
Worth noting, they did confirm the next season's coming in 2020 now. Like just today, they said next. Just today they confirmed next season 2020. They're still doing the production, starting filming in the next 3 months, whatever it is, whenever it was going to start anyway. But I think they're just pushing for a spring release instead.
Oh, I wonder why. Oh well.
Yeah.
But so I'll be honest. I recognised Tim Shaw when he eventually took his mask off. Well, I mean, I knew it was him before that because they mentioned his name, and I was like, okay, it was that one. But see, when they all reacted when he came on the screen at one point in his mask, I'll be honest, I couldn't remember who it was.
That's fair. The mask isn't particularly distinctive.
It's just like a black mask. It's just kind of simple looking.
Yeah, I think underneath the mask is pretty memorable.
Yeah, because it's all teeth.
Yeah, exactly. I remember that dude. I remember the teeth dude.
Yeah.
The mask. Yeah, okay, the mask's pretty generic. I'm not going to defend that.
I like my other biggest critique of this is that I'm not really sure I understood a lot of what was really going on.
Okay.
By the time they were solving the problem,
yeah,
which was that there was like a doomsday device that Tim Shaw had made, and he destroyed various planets and put them in crystals, and it was going to destroy Earth next.
Yep.
And he was using these psychic, superpowered beings called the Ux, who are like kind of gods, kind of Jedi.
Yeah. I mean, Sith would be more appropriate, given that there's always two.
I thought that was okay. The finale was okay.
I think it's a decent episode. I think it's an underwhelming finale.
So underwhelming finale. It didn't feel like a finale. It didn't really feel like the season had any kind of structure or shape to it. It just kind of ended. Yeah,
I'm kind of hoping that the New Year's episode is actually kind of like the finale.
It had a bit of a climax in that it kind of, tied back into Gracie's death, and we had...
So the problem is, it felt like we dealt with a lot of that last week.
Yeah, and Graham's whole "I'm going to go after and kill him" I didn't really buy, because kind of like Ryan points out, what are you going to do, Graham? So when it came down to the two of them, just the pair of them with a couple of laser guns, like winning against them, I was just kind of like, they sold him as way more like unstoppable way back in episode 1.
I'm not gonna dispute that. Even in this episode, they go, "Hang on, all those soldiers, trained warriors, couldn't do anything. What the hell are you gonna do?"
And then they win.
What he's gonna do is yippee-ki-yay.
They won relatively. It didn't really, because it'd be one thing if it felt like a struggle and it felt like they just got lucky. They just scraped it out. But it just kind of felt like, no, it was just pretty simple and straightforward. And they won. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
But no, he got his fist bump, which we predicted. No bike riding yet, but you got the fist bump.
Yeah, we got another season. Yeah, they when they confirmed the 2020 for the next season, they did confirm that all three of them are coming back in the next season as well.
And they're now going by FAM. Yaz has conceded and is accepting FAM. I'm going to be honest though, I don't remember them ever bringing this up before and her declining title.
I don't, but it would have. It's the sort of thing that would have been such a throwaway banter that
Yeah.
I believe it could have been in there.
I
Because
think
there's been so much banter over the season.
my critique of this season, I think, is that it doesn't feel like it had an identity as a season. There was stuff that I thought they were setting up back in 1, 2, 3, and then we just did a lot more standalone episodes, and it never really felt like there was any, like, I don't know.
I think the first like 2/3 of it have an identity in that they're all dealing with the same theme of the human monster.
Sure, yeah.
I feel like towards the end it kind of got away from that a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just kind of lukewarm. I don't dislike this episode, but I don't particularly like it either.
No, I think this is a solid mid-tier episode, right? Like if this is in the middle of the season, I'd be like, yeah, sure, it's all right. I think it's underwhelming as the last episode of the season, though.
They also set up things that I don't really feel they did anything with. Like, oh, this planet will attack your mind if you don't have these dampener things on.
Yeah, but they had the dampeners on, so it's fine.
Yeah, but then they took them off, and then they did nothing with it.
That's
like,
true.
Literally all we got was Jazz saying, oh, I've got a bit of a headache. That was it. All it amounted to. Like, the guy they meet has lost his entire memory and is slowly regaining it with this dampener thing over the course of the episode. And I thought, okay, they're taking this off. This is a risk. This is, like, what the real struggle is going to be for Yaz and the Doctor. Maybe Yaz especially, because she's not, super, Doctor species, right? Do the Doctors have a species?
Gallifreyan.
There you go, Gallifreyan. There you go. I'd forgotten that. So, but I thought, maybe this will be a thing. Yaz is going to have to like fight the mental side of this, and nothing happened with it. It just
okay, I can't. No, you're right.
The only reason it exists is so that the person they meet doesn't have all the answers right away and can tell them why they're there and what's happening.
Which is fine.
It's forced mystery. You can do it. You can do it in ways that don't feel as forced and surface level.
Fine until towards the end of the episode. Like I didn't have a problem with it as a concept until right near the end when they had to take them off.
Yeah, until they did nothing with it. Yeah, it's not a problem when you first hear about it. It's a problem when you get to a point where this was all pointless. This was all just for that.
No, it's true. I can't argue with that.
So that kind of bugged me.
Yeah,
that kind of bugged me. But yeah, they saved the hostages. The actual plot of it feels very ho hum. To be honest, it's very. It's to save the hostages, stop the bad guy from turning on his doomsday machine. Like, you can literally take this any like 90s action movie or 90s like sci-fi movie. You can just sort of like, okay, right, just slot out the characters, put these characters in.
I mean, I assume that's why the Die Hard reference was in there, because they're kind of aware.
Sure. I don't really feel that. I mean, it doesn't feel really Die Hard specifically. I was thinking more movies where there's a bomb going to go off by the end, which is not very.
No, I'm with you. I just mean in the sense of, okay, we know we're kind of doing these sorts of things, these action movie tropes. I'm not really defending it. I'm not saying that's an excuse. I'm just saying it feels like maybe they knew.
Sure, but admitting you're doing it doesn't necessarily negate the fact that you're doing it.
No, absolutely not.
I don't know. It was very underwhelming. Like, it's just not like a disaster of an episode. It's not like there's
no real big glaring problems with it
outside of just the mythology mumbo jumbo, feeling like just a lot of random nonsense to explain why we're doing what we're doing. Which is very Doctor Who, I suppose, in a nutshell, but it felt especially glaring here where by the time they're actually solving the problem, I didn't understand really what they were doing still.
Yeah, okay.
Usually there's at least like a basic thing you understand where, okay, right, they have to do this or this is going to happen. And okay, I know the Earth's going to get destroyed if they don't do this, but she kept just pulling out more rules about the Uxie's powers and why their powers are amplifying this and how we have to block the neural link and all that. And I felt like you didn't really naturally set any of this up. You're just kind of telling me as you're solving it.
Yeah, that's fair.
It was an exposition dump.
It was. Like I said, I think it's a very mid-tier episode, and in the middle of a season, that's fine.
Yeah. Last week's was way more interesting.
I had more to say about last week's. I like this more.
I mean, that's
like,
fine, but I think
considerably.
the fact that we both had more to say about last week's, the fact that we both were like, oh, here was the ideas, here's what's interesting about it. Whereas this week, it's just kind of a convoluted, generic piece of sci-fi.
It's very by the numbers, this one.
Yeah.
I think this might be, like last week was definitely the one I hated the most out of the season by far. This might be the most disappointing episode of the season, in that it is the most generic by the numbers. Okay, here's just an episode, and slotting that at the end of the season feels especially disappointing.
Yeah. Like, can we even talk about the fact that he's got little, the planets like destroyed in crystals? It's very Brainiac. Outside of the fact that they're dead.
It is, isn't it?
And again, I feel like we did nothing with that. There's like the scene where the Doctor finds out that that's what they are. She's annoyed about it, but it's so quick, and then just like, okay, on to saving things. Yeah. I'm like, can we explore this? Can we talk about this? Can we talk about the fact that this is like 5 little planets that he's shrunk down and destroyed?
That would be worth discussing.
I don't know, just thrown out there like it's nothing. Like, this is not a throwaway detail.
No, I agree.
If anything, this should have been like a 3-parter, and the first part should just be like being on a planet that's about to shrink, and getting off of it just in time, and then following it where it went, and then like leading to what was going on. Like, build up the fact that planets are being destroyed and shrunken down into crystals. Do something with it.
Yeah. This falls into the trap of another season that we had. I'm not sure the exact season. It was somewhere in the Moffat era, where he was like, nope, no 2-parters this season, just all single episodes. I don't think that's the best move to do. Some 2-parters is a good thing.
Yeah, I think Doctor Who could benefit from adopting a bit more serialization. I think it's too beholden to the single adventures, and I'm not saying give them up completely. I'm not saying do away with them, because obviously there's some very good ones, but it seems so hell bent on sticking to standalone episodes that I think it's getting in the way of actually developing the characters.
It's funny because if you go back to classic Who, the episodes are a bit shorter, but the stories were like 4 to 8 parts. I think the episodes were about half an hour, so it worked out, like 2 to 4 episodes ish of what we have now.
Yeah, so it was like movie length basically.
Yeah, give or take.
But the point being is they had time to build up the details of what was happening, and unfold it a bit more naturally, so that it felt like things were actually being discovered and explained at a nice rate, not this big dump just as we're solving the problem. Which
I do feel like this episode, especially like a 2-parter at the very least, would have really helped.
Yeah, just set some of this stuff up. Can we get like an episode maybe early on where they interact or learn about the Ux, so that they're not just thrown in here at the last second?
Yeah.
And I appreciate the Doctor's never met them before, because the Doctor seems to have met everyone before, so that's a nice touch at least. But at the same time, it's like, well, if you're going to throw them in like this, at least can we hit the ground running with something with them?
I think the opening scene might have been one of my favourite of the episode.
Yeah, the opening scene's fine. I was intrigued by the opening scene, because okay, who are these 2 weirdos?
What are they doing? They're like, they're like, oh, I've been walking for this long. There's this speech about, oh, you've been teaching me, but all you've been teaching me is doubt rather than how to actually do it. And I thought these are some really interesting concepts that they're bringing up here.
Yeah, and then they're just held prisoner for like
the
bulk of the episode.
Yeah, the Ux were ultimately kind of throwaway. When at the start I was like, oh, I'm really intrigued in this pair.
Yeah, it felt like an intriguing concept for the opening scene, and then they just turned into a plot device. That's all they were.
Yeah.
And yeah, unfortunately, I don't have a whole lot of nice things to say. I don't think it's terrible. I think it's perfectly serviceable, but I don't think it goes much beyond that.
Yeah.
Because of all the issues we've brought up. As per usual, the cast were fun to have do their thing.
Oh, definitely.
Graham and Ryan had some nice moments. Yaz probably got shafted the most in the finale, just because she had the least to do.
I feel like that's been consistent all season. I feel like barring the one episode that was hers in India, she's probably had the least out of the 3 companions also, because the problem is Ryan and Graham have that connection. You know, they have the family connection that they've been playing on. So she's kind of just been, oh, I'm the friend on the side, right?
I feel like whenever it's just her and Ryan in a adventure, so sometimes that's how they split up. It tends to feel a bit more even because they feel like they connect in a different way. That
when she's off with the Doctor, which feels more often, she kind of gets shafted.
Yeah, because the Doctor steals all the scenes she's in.
Yeah.
So Yaz kind of gets shafted, but in that sense.
And the thing is, obviously, we sometimes get like Graham along with the Doctor. I feel like he's got enough presence to hold his own with her. Yaz just doesn't.
Oh yeah, the best line of this episode might actually be right near the start, where they're getting distress calls, and the Doctor's like, "Oh, there's like 9 separate distress calls from different time periods, all coming from this one planet." And she says the name of the planet, title of the episode, and he's like, "Oh, what does that mean?" And she's like, it's the destruction of the soul." And he immediately says, "Oh, I love a cheery one."
Yeah.
And it's just so deadpan that it was really funny, and I was like,
"It is," and he has that scene where he pulls the Doctor aside. It's like, "Listen, look, I'm going to kill this bastard."
Yeah.
And I mean, we already spoke about the maybe the problems with that as a concept, but I thought the scene itself, and he was able to stand up as a character against the Doctor.
Oh, sure, no, I like that part of it. My problem is when he actually, I mean, it doesn't kill him obviously, but when he pulls it off, that was when it became a problem. It was like, I get him not caring that it's probably a suicide mission. I get him, being headstrong about it. Yeah. It's once it actually was achievable, it was like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
and I think, and the way it was done, at least, but it was so easy.
Yeah, and I think Brian's probably the next best out of the three in terms of that. I don't know if he holds up against the Doctor as well, but he plays off Graham really well. That really elevates him an extra level. Yaz she's all right, but she's definitely got the least to do.
She's got the least to do. I like her more than Ryan, though.
Okay.
She has the least to do, but that's part of why it's frustrating, is because I do actually like her more. But
I don't dislike her. They just haven't given me enough of her to like, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I'm talking purely just based on interaction and dialogue and things like that. In terms of plot, I don't even necessarily think the Ryan and Graham plot has.
No, I just think when the two of them are off together, they've got enough of a connection and banter that it's always solid. And that seems to be probably the most common pairings, is them two and then Doctor and Yaz.
How do you feel about the season as a whole then?
Overall, pretty positive. I really like the general direction of the tone, for the most part. I really like the introduction of, going back to these episodes of, okay, let's like Rosa and the Demons of the Punjab, the ones where it's like, okay, it's not really all about changing all these things. It's about, okay, no, let's just see the moment and understand it. I like that.
I like Rosa a lot. Rosa's a great episode. I think the season as a whole, though, is like a 6 out of 10.
No, fair enough.
And it's a shame because I thought there was some promise early on, and I like the cast a lot. I like the characters a lot.
I do like the characters as a group a lot.
But ultimately, the same thing that happened kind of last season, and even the season before that, is that by the time I got to the end, I felt like, I've not actually liked that many of the episodes. When I look back at them, a lot of them were very middling, and a lot of them, just weren't doing much beyond just being surface level kind of entertaining.
That's fair enough. I've definitely liked more than I haven't.
Yeah,
by a long shot.
Yeah, but you're a bit of a Doctor Who fanboy. Let's be honest here.
Hey, I hated last week's.
The one you go in accepting you're going to hate one, and you stick to that.
I really
no matter what.
I really thought I was getting away with it this year, because it's never been that late in the season. I really thought, this is it. This is the year that I don't hate one.
Oh well, that is Doctor Who's season finale. By all means, let us know what you thought of it in the comments below. Like and subscribe, all that stuff. It does help us out a lot. As does, of course, going over to patreon.com/MailFuzzTV and supporting us over there for as little as $1 per month. And you can do that. But otherwise, that is it. So thank you once again for watching or listening. We always appreciate it. Keep watching TV, guys. Have you got any vanilla?